everyone. I know all of you were not expecting me to be live, but I don't know if you know about my mental health initiative, an online campaign that I have, which is called Just Another Illness. And today is Mental Health Awareness Week in the UK. So for the rest of the week, I will be working towards creating awareness around mental health. And I thought that today I'll probably talk about medication. I know you accept friend requests without the expectation of having to talk about mental illnesses, but here I am. So if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments or even, DM me directly if you want to reach out directly. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about my own experience with medication. So for those of you who don't know, I was diagnosed with depression and PTSD in 2019, and I have been taking medication for my mental illness for almost 2 years now. I know, if you, a lot of people who have met me or know me, they would be like, why do you need medication and why are you taking medication for like almost 2 years? And, there are a lot of myths on the fact that, oh, you get addicted and, they're not good for your mental well being, they make you really slow. Personally, I feel that my body needs that maintenance dose of sertraline or my antidepressant to keep up with that serotonin level and to feel better. Um, so yeah, I was on a mood stabilizer as well for a couple of months, and my doctor told me that I will put on a lot of weight because of it, and it will be, I will feel really hungry, and there are some drawbacks as well related to your medication, which is completely fine. I feel like for me personally, I would choose a stable mind over, a perfect body any day. So yeah, medication works in different ways, and I think it all depends on you know your psychiatrist as well. So there are no blood tests, or there are no like specific tests that a psychiatrist can do to determine what kind of medication will work with you. So for you, so there are a lot of permutations and combinations that they feel that they have to go through, and the only way to work, make sure the medication works for you is through discussion with your own psychiatrist. So when I was coming off my mood stabilizer, I was talking to my psychiatrist more often than I would usually, to talk about how am I feeling, how are am I feeling any instability in my mood, am I having mood swings. Earlier last year, I around September, I thought that okay, maybe I need to come off my antidepressant as well. But again, then I started experiencing a bit of irritability. I felt that my symptoms are kind of blowing up, and that's when I kind of felt that okay, it is important that I maintain a certain level of my serotonin. So yeah, I was back on taking my antidepressant for a while, and I have been. I know a lot of people think that you just need to take medication for just a couple of days and then you will be better. But mental illness medication doesn't really work like that. Like I said earlier, I have been on medication for more than 2 years now, and it has its pros, it has its cons, but it's important that I continue to educate myself about how mental health, mental health is, how my mental illness is. And medication doesn't work in isolation. So if anyone tells you that take some antidepressants for a couple of weeks and you start feeling better, that is actually not true. You take antidepressant which will help with your symptoms, but not with your causes. So what I have understood through my own personal journey is that if I am feeling low, if I'm feeling irritable, or if I'm feeling low on energy, I can take antidepressant to lift my mood and increase the level of serotonin in my body, which is like, one of the neurotransmitters in our brain. But it will not help to challenge what I am going through, my thoughts. So if I am feeling like, oh, let's say for example, my depression makes me believe that I'm a fool and I'm not good enough. And but medication will not make me start believing that, oh no, I'm okay, I'm just overthinking. That is what therapy will help me. That is when, you know um, talking to my therapist or talking to my friends, or building that kind of environment around me is going to help me. My medication will help me to lift my mood, but it cannot change my thoughts. So if you are thinking that popping a pill like a paracetamol will take away your fever, this is not a fever, this is not sadness, these are not emotions. It takes a lot of time for you to, you know build up that level of serotonin in your body, build up that level of, stabilize your mood for a while as well. And it comes with its pros and its cons. And for me it works in a lot of harmony with a lot of other things as well. um, I know there are very few people watching, but if you have any questions, you can post it in your comments. You can also, send it to me on my DM if you're hesitant to ask. But yeah, I feel like there is a lot of stigma attached to medication, particularly around mental illness, and people feel very hesitant to take medication for their brain. And it's quite obvious because the way we have seen mental illnesses being projected in, especially in, like, Bollywood movies. I don't say it, you are the person in wrong. We all know that, how all of it is projected in the media, and it's very hard for someone to kind of accept the fact that I am not okay. But I choose to talk about these things. You really don't have to. You can just keep a pill in your pocket and eat it, after food, or no one needs to know about if you're taking medication. It is very personal. I have been taking medication for my hypothyroidism to maintain my, thyroxine levels in the body for almost 10 years now, or more than 10 years. And I'm not ashamed in saying that I need to take an antidepressant every morning as well to keep up my serotonin levels. So it is that's why I started this whole initiative of Just Another Illness, because there is actually not a big deal about being on these medication. And if you're really scared, I'm trying to share a lot of information on Just Another Illness page today around medication. I don't know about India, but there are a lot of you know websites available in the UK which can help you give a lot more insights into how medications work. I have a question on why should we take medication regularly. I think it is important to understand first that what your medication is doing for you. So, for instance, for me, serotonin, the antidepressant that I'm taking, it helps to keep a level of serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter in my brain, at a level which is required for my well-being. If I stop taking that medication, so my body naturally is not producing that level of serotonin which is required for me to keep a stable mood. And if I need a medication to keep up that level of serotonin in my body so that I have a stable mood, I need to take this medication regularly, unless or until I can use something else to compensate that. So, say for instance, right now the pandemic is going on, it's such a stressful environment, and I have a lot of stress in my body already. And if I stop taking medication right now, that serotonin was not being produced anyway, and I've stopped, topping it up as well, or actually creating that level. If I just stop taking medication right now, it would just mean that, downhill for me. The reason I take my medication regularly is because I have seen from my past experience that a minimum dose of serotonin is required right now in my body. And it, until I start working towards, through therapy, working towards improving, or if my situation or handling my situation, I will need to take this medication. And it's not just about how I'm feeling, but all of my environmental factors as well. People, there are a lot of people who would would want to stop medication because they're feeling okay. It depends on how much resistance kind of things, or how much resilience have you built in your body regarding to your trigger points and regarding your own mental well-being as well. For me, pandemic has been stressful. I am going through, a career change as well, which is slightly stressful for me, and that's why I feel like in regards with harmony with my therapy, I need to take medication regularly as well. I hope that helps. But yeah, definitely, if you have any concerns regarding any medication, like you would speak to your GP. So this means we have to take medicine lifetime to maintain. It totally depends on what kind of medication you are taking. I don't know if I have to take sertraline or my antidepressant for the rest of my life. But if it is required by my body to maintain a level of sertraline, I may have to take it, and which is completely fine. Like, when I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, I was told that, oh, if it happens in adolescence, it will be better. 10, 11 years down the line, I'm still taking medication for my thyroid. So, if I have to take thyroxine to maintain my level of thyroxine in my body, and if taking an antidepressant means that I need to take my antidepressant every morning to maintain that level of serotonin, I would take that. I know there are a lot of, you know, especially for women. I think if you want to get pregnant, or if you are having a lot of drawbacks from your medication, that's when I will sit down and have a conversation with my psychiatrist and talk about, okay, I cannot take medication because of my a new mental health or a new physical health condition that has come up. So what can I do? But I cannot just stop taking medication just because I don't feel like, or I don't want to. Like, this is not how medication works. It is very important that, personally for me, I would choose having a stable life, taking my medication for the rest of my life, than to go through that whirlpool of emotions and, you know, being in and out of hospital, or having dips in my mood, or feeling suicidal, and all of those things. If it means that I need to take a medication for the rest of my life, I would rather take that than to suffer, and go through what I have been through previously. Okay. Yeah, if I would suggest have a honest and open discussion with your psychiatrist. Learn yourself a lot about how your medication works. What is the science behind, taking an antidepressant, an antipsychotic drug, or taking a mood stabilizer. If how do you need to maintain your dose as well? So a good idea would be that you like for me, I don't have the medication here, but it has days marked on it. So it has like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I take it every day, so I know I have taken it, and I don't take a lot of it as well. um i I think another thing that I have noted is that, you know and apologies if it is, disrespectful, but I feel like a lot of, because of the stigma in the society, a lot of people kind of, don't tell the person who is taking medication that they are giving you medication. I think it is very important for people to have that right to know that they are taking medication. I don't know where this stigma comes from, that why is there such a hoo-ha about taking medication for your mental illness? Like, if you have high blood pressure, you would just be like, beta meri BP ki goli lana. But no one would say, beta mera mood stabilizer lana, beta mera get go and fetch my antidepressant for me. And I just feel like, why are people so hesitant when it comes to taking medication for your brain? I mean, science has evolved so much. The scientists are working. I was reading an article the other day that there are scientists working towards, doing blood tests to figure out and, capture your depression and your um, uh, capture your depression, and bipolar disorder as well. Like, if science has grown so much, and if uh, taking a medication or approving a medication to be prescribed for a mental illness doesn't really happen overnight. Somebody will not just come up with an antidepressant and be like, ah, kal se ye, we'll start distributing it in the market. It goes through a lot of, approvals, and it has, uh, there is a reason why there is a whole different, section in medicine just around psychiatry, or just around your mental well-being. If I have low levels of vitamin D, or I have low levels of calcium, I will take, calcium supplements, I will take vitamin D3 supplements, सब कुछ करूँगी. But when it comes to my brain, which is like one of the most integral parts of my body, I will hesitate to take a medication for that. And I don't know where this comes from. Like, particularly for our generation, I would say, if you're not feeling okay, and you've spoken to a psychiatrist, you've spoken to a psychologist, and they feel like your symptoms are severe and you need to, be on a medication, educate yourself rather than just outrightly saying no, I will not, or you will be like, okay, I'll take it for a week. This is not how these things work. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort for those levels to come up again. And trust your, I wouldn't say blindly trust your psychiatrist, but challenge your psychiatrist. And for you to be in a position to challenge your psychiatrist or your doctors on your medication, you need to educate yourself about what these medications are, how are they working, how are they impacting me. Monitor yourselves, take your medications every single day, like it is, a religious path that you're following. Every day at 9 o'clock, I know I need to take my medication. Like I said, there are boxes now available with different days. So Monday, put your medication and make sure you're taking it every day, because that is what is required. Coming on to medication for a mental illness and coming off a medication for your mental illness is no child play. Like, please don't do no. I will highly request everyone watching this video, do not come on and off medication like, it is some kind of a party or you just enjoying. Please don't do that. Have a frank and open discussion. Think about why you want to come off this medication. I remember I was telling my doctor that, oh, I'm starting to feel better. And he spoke to my therapist to confirm that, how is Ridhima doing, is her mood better. They wouldn't just say that, okay, yeah, fine, you need to come off medication now. But it you need to see how you have been doing. Were there any points in your life where you were actually struggling, but because of your therapy, because of the routine that you have in place, you have been able to cope regularly, and effectively, maybe you can come off medication. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लास्ट ईयर सितंबर में मैंने अपने साइकाइट्रिस्ट को बोला कि मैं अपनी डोज, एंटी डिप्रेशन की डोज थोड़ा कम कर देती हूँ. और मैंने 1 महीने के लिए कम भी किया, बट मैंने फिर नोटिस करना शुरू किया कि मेरे मूड में फिर डिप्स हो रहे थे. आई वॉज फीलिंग अ लॉट मोर इरिटेबल, एंड आई थॉट दैट आई कैन नॉट कीप लिविंग लाइक दिस just because I want to come off this medication. And here only honesty will help you. So I went back to my psychiatrist. I was crying. I felt like a failure. I was like, I was moving ahead. Now I feel like I'm moving back again. And then I realized that a piece of medication cannot decide how I'm feeling. It is something that is supporting me. But at the end of the day, it is in my hands how I want to do. तो एक मेडिकेशन डिफाइन नहीं करती कि मैं डिप्रेस्ड हूँ या मैं ठीक हूँ या मैं अब ठीक नहीं हुई हूँ. ये मैं डिफाइन करूँगी कि मैं कैसा फील कर रही हूँ. अगर मुझे, हाँ, एक दवाई लेनी पड़ती है क्योंकि I need additional support, that doesn't make me a failure at all. I would rather choose you know a stability over what people think of. सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग, लोग जाएं भाड़ में. भाई मुझे चाहिए कि मैं कैसा मेंटली फील कर रही हूँ. Okay, I know I've been ranting for 19 minutes. I'll just stick around for probably 20 seconds more if anyone has any other questions for me. If you are feeling a little bit hesitant, or if you are feeling why is she doing this, you can check out my mental health initiative. It's called Just Another Illness. I'm trying to raise awareness around mental health because it's a mental health awareness week in the UK. And I hope this session on medication helped a lot of people. I never plan to do such things on my personal channel, but I have, on my personal profile, I have around 900 people who are friends with me here. So I would use this opportunity. Why not to, like, talk about mental illnesses? And if you have any questions for me or in generally as well, I can definitely signpost to you on things that you can read about medication that can help you. I hope this session helped you. Have a great evening ahead, and thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Bye.